Hello, I'm Jazz Rose, author of Teaching Primary PE, and I'm here today to talk about framing the learning. Now, we've all seen those lessons where children aren't quite inspired, they don't seem as infused and engaged as perhaps they typically are. One of the ways that we can avoid that challenge is to really positively frame the learning. What do we mean by that? The first thing is to start with the end in mind. What is it that they're going to achieve over the course of the academic year? What is the content of the learning going to look like? And that helps to avoid all of those questions mid-year. When are we going to be doing this? When are we going to be doing that? Provide real clarity to the pupils so they know and understand what the learning journey looks like. The second thing is to look at the term. What is the midterm plan? What is it that they're going to be learning this term? What is it that they're trying to achieve? If you do one of the creative subjects, it's fantastic because you can always link it to a competition, a tournament, or some sort of event that the children are working towards so that every lesson has pace, has impact, and has urgency. I walked into an ICT lesson, or I walked past one the other day, and the teacher went, right, this term, boys and girls, we're going to learn to build an app. And all the children were like, wow. They were inspired and said, that's a big, broad concept to achieve, isn't it? But today, we're going to focus on X, Y, and Z in order to help us to get to work towards building an app. And that really helped set the tone for the lesson. The children were engaged, they were inspired, they were looking around like, I'm going to build an app. Who? Me? And I was at the edge of the door thinking, I want to be in class. I want to be a year 4 student again. I want to learn to build an app. Just by positively framing the learning, you immediately create a sense of urgency, a sense of passion, a sense of, I want to get there, I want to help, I want to listen, and I want to be engaged so that you as a teacher can really impart your knowledge. The third thing is, what are we learning today? What does the success criteria look like for today's lesson? How is it that I'm going to be successful? How is it that I'm going to improve in order to get to the goal at the end of today's lesson? I delivered a dance lesson last week, and what I said to the children was, today we're going to do a 5-step routine with our partner. If you're on silver and you do that well, then you're going to do that with timing and precision. Those are our 2 key words for today. Timing and they were like, precision. And that got them really engaged and inspired and captivated right from the outset. And I said, if you're on gold and if you do really well with that, then we can progress on to creating your own routine, and then you will create a 10-step routine to show to the class. Brilliant. That feeds in a little bit to the differentiation, provides that little bit of challenge that the children need. By positively framing the learning, we can achieve 3 key things. By telling them what they're going to learn over the course of the academic year, you create a clear learning journey. You create a clear pathway so that the children know what they're working towards. By breaking it down by term, you create a sense of urgency. You get the children's buy-in and a sense of commitment of what they want to achieve and what they're going to be working towards. Finally, by creating that success criteria of today's lesson, again, it's that pace, that urgency, that commitment, but also you get to break down the key steps of how they can improve. As a student, I want to know, how can I get better? How can I improve? How can I reach my optimal performance as quickly, as fast as I possibly can? I remember when I was a footballer at about 15 years old, and then I progressed to the under-19s team, which was a big jump for me. One of my weaknesses was I couldn't strike the ball as far and as fast as some of the other players could. And I kept on asking people, how do you strike the ball like that? How do I get the ball as far and as fast as you can? And nobody really gave me the answer. And I got there in the end through sheer practice and determination, but it took me about 2 years. And what I realized when I was about 17 was that actually I wasn't striking the ball at the right contact point, and I wasn't connecting at the right contact point with the ball. But if I had known that, if someone had broke down that success criteria to me and those clear key teaching points of where it is I was going wrong and how can I improve, I would have got there so much faster. So by breaking down those fundamental teaching points, providing that clear success criteria would help to make your pupils make more accelerated and rapid progress, which is what we all want as teachers and as educators. Your enthusiasm is infectious in this. You've really got to impart your knowledge in a really positive and dynamic and engaging fashion. Nobody wants to walk into your lesson and be bored. Nobody wants to hear, today we're going to learn maths, and in maths we're going to learn how to count. 1, 2, You've got to use your vocal variety, you've got to use your body language to really impart your enthusiasm. You've really got to impart your passion for the subject so that the pupils can also be infused. The children want to know, what is the purpose of this activity? How does it link to what we're learning over the course of the term? How does it link to other subjects? I want to know as a student, because I want to be as committed to the learning as you are as committed to teaching. And that's some of the techniques that you can use to really hook the children into the learning and help them to make more efficient and more effective progress. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Do feel free to share it with anyone who might find it interesting or might benefit from it. I've been Jazz Rose, and I'll see you again. Have a fantastic week of teaching and learning, and I'll certainly see you again next week for another video on effective teaching and learning. Have a great week. Bye for now.